All right, good afternoon, traders. Hopefully, everyone is having a good day so far. Market indices a little mixed today. We had the Dow down, while the Nasdaq and the S&P both up. Now, before we get to the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Now, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. All right, with that, as you know, today is Monday. We are going to go over the SPY first. We're going to check out some key technical levels, and then we are going to give you those three stocks that are technically setting up nicely going into tomorrow. All right, with that, let's get into the SPY. All right, guys, as you know, the SPY made that 52-week high last week. And if you remember from this weekend's show, I did say, let's see how we gap. And if we were to gap higher, there's a high probability we are going to continue to go higher. Well, that's exactly what we did today. We did gap higher. We did in the first hour and a half of trading have a couple of liquidation breaks. We saw the market tank, but you know what? Look at that. Look how we held that 10, not the 10 SMA, but this midpoint Bollinger Band really nicely, right? We held that really, really nicely, and we closed near the highs of the day. So again, for tomorrow, if we were to gap up tomorrow and take out today's high tomorrow, watch for a continuation of this market to go higher. It just, to me, seems like every liquidation break seems to be bought. So the path of least resistance seems to be higher. So again, stay long as long as we continue to hold this midpoint Bollinger Band, right? Since we've have done so since early November. This has been our trend line, our friend, and it's been bought every time we've been close to this midpoint Bollinger Band. So again, we are near the high of the day. If we were to gap higher, there's a high probability we are going to take that 52-week high. So again, not to reiterate and say things over and over, but watch for us to make a new 52-week high in the upcoming days. Okay, that is the SPY. All right, with that, let's go into the three stocks that look really good going into tomorrow. And the first one's going to be RXT. So RXT had a really nice day today. It was up 4.4%. We did take out Friday's high. From Friday, we did hold this 50-day moving average. So again, for tomorrow, watch for either a pullback early in the morning if you want to get in. But if you do get into this stock, remember this 50-day moving average has to be your stop. Anything below this 50-day moving average will mean that this whole move was wrong and it'll probably end up going lower. Okay, so again, try to buy this on a pullback or a breakout for tomorrow. Essentially, if we do break above this value area high, there's not going to be that resistance ahead of us, on top of us, meaning shares traded. There's going to be very little shares traded above us, so there's not going to be that selling pressure that you would expect. Okay, so there's going to be very little resistance. This will probably start making new 52-week highs here soon. Okay, that is RXT. But before we move on to the next talk, let's check out two more charts. First one's going to be that 5 EMA over the 13. Is that 5 EMA over the 13? And yes, it is. If you look right now, the 5 EMA just crossed that 13 EMA today. So this is the beginning, in my opinion, of a bullish trend. Okay, the 5 is above the 13. And then let's find out on the weekly. Is the price above that 9 SMA on the weekly? And yes, as you can see, price is above this 9 SMA right here on the weekly. So everything is setting up really nicely for RXT to move higher for the next couple of days here, okay? All right, next stock in the queue is going to be WKHS. This is one that we have played in the past. All right, let's bring this up on that daily chart initially, and let's check it out. All right, so again, here's one where that 50-day moving average, well, first of all, that 10 is above the 50, and that 50 is above that 200-day moving average. And anyone who does watch the show, we need that 10 over the 50 and that 50 over the 200 setup in order for us to have a really nice, good-looking chart, and that's what we have. So going forward, we need to get above today's high, and with it looks like we are up in after-hours trading. There's a high probability then we are going to take out and gap up above today's high. So again, for tomorrow, what to watch out for? Well, we need to see if we can buy this on a pullback. It is definitely going to be above this value area high. Now, if we could start breaking above this ascending trend line right here, that means this whole trend line now is broken to the upside, and that is a very, very bullish sign right here, in my opinion. So again, for tomorrow, watch that gap. Try to buy this maybe in that first 30 minutes, of trading, and if you could get in on a little bit of a pullback, you have to use this 50-day moving average down here as your stop price. Again, let's look at this at a couple of different charts. Is price on the weekly above that 9 SMA, and yes it is, as you can see there. And then lastly on that 513 EMA chart is that 5 EMA above the 13. Just like RXT, guys, take a look. That 5 EMA just crossed today that 13 EMA. So to me, this is the beginning of an uptrend right here, of a bullish uptrend. Okay, that's WKHS. All right, so let's see. Last stock on the list is going to be one that we have played in the past, but not for a while, is CVM. So again, CVM is looking really nicely. Again, we're right here near that value area high in CVM. My only concern is that 50-day moving average is not above that 200 just yet. But I think if we start getting above this value area high in the next couple of days, that 50-day moving average is going to move quickly above that 200, and then we are going to have that 10 over the 50 and 50 over that 200-day moving averages for that nice good looking bullish chart. Okay, so again, for this one, you need to buy above today's high tomorrow, and then clearly use this 200-day moving average all the way down here at 1342 as your out. So you have to give this one a little bit of room. Maybe hopefully tomorrow we can buy this on a little bit of a pullback, and then again use that 200-day moving average right down here as your stop price. But let's check out that 513 EMA chart. Is the 5 EMA above the 13? As you can see, the 5 EMA is above the 13. Again, a really nice indicator right there. And then lastly is price on the weekly above that 9 SMA. As you can see, that price is way above that 9 SMA right there. So that is an excellent sign for CVM going forward. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Monday afternoon. My name is Eric. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below, and I'll make sure to get right back to you with any questions you may have on technical analysis. All right, again, my name is Eric. I hope you had a great weekend. And again, if you are watching the show and you're not a subscriber, go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. Okay, guys, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow after the close. And remember, trade smart and be safe.